What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Play Legit podcast. We are your hosts, Koerri Elijah and KJ. What's going on, man?
Play legit, man.
You already know. You already know. So hopefully everybody out there is doing good. We're still in the middle of crazy world, I guess. I'd say crazy land, but it's literally the whole world that's going crazy right now. So we're still in the middle of the crazy world. Still not too much going on in, the realm of pretty much everything, not just gaming, but like movies, TV shows have been canceled. Like there's literally pretty much nothing going on.
Yo, they're about to do WrestleMania with an empty arena. That's gonna be so weird, man.
WrestleMania is going to be an empty arena.
Yeah, it's still on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What? Dude, I don't even see how they're going to do that.
Yeah, I guess 3 of the matches they're filming in private locations. They're doing like probably some unique camera work and all that, but most of the matches are gonna be in the empty arena.
Wow. That's nuts. When is that? Is that?
That's this Sunday. They're
Yeah, I was
doing
going
it
to say.
2 nights. Saturday and Sunday. They're splitting it up.
Oh, wow. All right, well,
Yeah.
I got WWE Network, so I definitely will be checking that out. I saw that they were doing like the replays of some of the previous WrestleManias, which was pretty cool these past couple Sundays.
Yeah, that's why they were promoting that event.
Yeah, that's nuts. I didn't even know it was going to be a completely empty arena, though. I don't know how I feel about that. Because if it was like a different like not WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, like anything else, really, I could be like, you could pull that off without an audience. But WrestleMania is huge.
Yeah, it's been tough. They've been doing that in AEW for a few weeks, empty arena, and they're doing stuff with the camera to kind of hide the fact. They're definitely trying, but it's nothing like having the crowd there and the live reactions and all that. It just really makes the experience. So
Yeah.
it's been really strange. This whole year is just weird, man.
Yeah, it definitely has been. Everybody's New Year's resolution is like 2020, new decade, new me. We gonna change. This is gonna be the bomb year. I'm about to start my small business. Boom. Maybe even started the small business, and then boom. Oh, looks like it's gonna be going back to whatever you've been doing before the small business, because everything is shut down unless you were like a letter carrier or something, a small courier job or something like that. But yeah, it's wild. I don't know how they're going to pull off WrestleMania with no one. That's like the Super Bowl with no one watching, no one there to watch the Super Bowl. But I mean, I'll tune in. I'll check it out. I mean,
Yeah, they're selling shirts for the event too that say on it, "I wasn't there."
Uh, I mean, if it's anything, they are really good with marketing. So I'll give them that. Like, even did you catch that SmackDown episode that they did? It was like the first week everything had went down and there was all the
Yeah, I
social
did see that.
distancing,
Yeah.
and then Triple H was in there like just doing a bunch of different jobs and stuff. Like, I mean, they are good with like the marketing. They're clever. They can kind of figure it out. So I imagine it'll still be a good show. It's still just going to be so weird to like no one there. There's typically like hundreds of thousands of people at WrestleMania.
Right.
Now there's literally going to be no one there. Like
10 people tops.
that's going to be crazy. But hey, we'll talk about it next week. We'll check it out and let you guys know how we felt about the audience free WrestleMania that's going to go down.
Yeah,
But I
it'll
mean,
be
it's a
fun.
2-day event, so I mean, I guess it's like an online con or something. So that's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, before we get into anything else, before we get into more stuff or topics that we got going on today, we got some good stuff that we're going to be talking about. I do just want to make sure everybody goes to playlegit.net and checks out the site, because that's the hub, that's the home, that's where you're going to find everything legit when it comes to gaming and real talk and entertainment. It definitely is a spot where you're going to want to stop by and see. You're going to find the podcast there. You're going to find gaming reviews there. You're going to find all different types of stuff there. So check it out. We have a collective of awesome individuals that come in and help and do a bunch of work there. So, do us a favor, check out the site. Let us know what you guys think. Hit us up on Twitter, on IG, and on YouTube. Just find us at Play Legit or the Play Legit Network on YouTube. And yeah, we're here to be your hub, your source for gaming and real talk. So make sure you check out the site. We definitely appreciate everybody that does that. Hit us with some feedback because we always are there to listen to you guys. We always respond to your feedback, and we take your questions and concerns into consideration. So if there's something you want us to talk about, you got to let us know, and we definitely have no issue, trying to incorporate what you guys want to hear into the conversation here as well. So
Let us know and hit the subscribe button.
yeah, you already know. Hit that button. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Even create an account for your dog, your cat, or something, and have them sub too, because they enjoy our voices as well. So before we get into any of the hard topics, though, too, there was something just brief that I did want to mention because we talked about the pandemic and everything that's going on. A lot of different people are starting to do things to kind of try to help out. I saw Jay-Z and Rihanna; they're like donating like $1 million each or something like that through their foundations. And Rockstar Games, they're actually donating in-game revenue to COVID-19 relief. So that's gonna be that's pretty big. These games, they make a lot of money off. I mean, look at EA. Like, look at the model of gaming. Microtransactions. That's where they make their bread and butter. So them actually taking a chunk of this. It's 5% of in-game transactions in Red Dead Online and GTA Online to help small businesses and communities deal with COVID-19. So hats off to Rockstar Games. Hopefully more companies will step up and do the same thing. But Rockstar is probably making a crap ton of money when it comes to in-game transactions. I mean, what GTA Online has been out for like 7 years or something like that. It came out in 2013, I believe, on
Yes.
PS3. So I mean, and they're still selling cars, and they have a whole casino and everything now in the game. So they're making bread off the game. People are really devoted to the game. People are still streaming it on Twitch. I still hop on from time to time and have some fun there too. Same thing with Red Dead Online. So it's really cool that they're taking a chunk of that money and they're giving back to the businesses and the communities. I mean, I'm sure they still have a whole staff that they have to pay for. I'm sure they are kind of in a little hole here as well with this whole social distancing, not having people be able to get into the office. Who knows how this is affecting the games that they may be working on now? But it's cool to see that they're at least, taking a little chunk of that change that they're getting and sending that back to the community, trying to help everybody out here. So lots of companies have been stepping up. Rockstar is the first big gaming developer that I saw actually, doing something about this. So, or not the first. I believe we talked about Nintendo last week as well, but that was just in one little area. This is for like a massive relief for small businesses and communities, not just kind of in a local municipality that they've been dealing with. So um yeah, so that's pretty cool. Hats off to Rockstar, hats off to Nintendo for doing what they did last week, and hats off to everybody else that is helping out and staying away from people and coughing into their elbows and washing their hands and washing their behinds and not being gross and dirty and spreading diseases. And it sucks that we had to get into a pandemic for people to realize that they need to wash their hands after they use the bathroom, but you win some, you lose some, right?
At least they're doing it now.
Yeah. Hopefully, when this is all said and done, I'll never leave a bathroom next to somebody that didn't wash their hands ever again. But we'll see, right? Some people never learn.
We'll see.
All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to get into the first topic, and the first topic today, I'm going to be doing a review. So as you guys know, if you've been listening to the podcast, a couple weeks ago, I picked up My Hero Academia: Heroes Justice 2, the sequel to My Hero Academia One's Justice. And I really have been enjoying this game. This has been kind of my go-to game for the past couple weeks now. I honestly haven't really played anything else. I played maybe like a couple hours of 2K and actually more than a couple hours, probably like 10 hours of City Skylines, because that happens every time I play that game. Time just goes away whenever you play that game. But for the most part, My Hero Academia One's Justice 2 has been my main game for the past couple weeks. I've been putting in a lot of work. I'm over, I believe, 60% complete when it comes to trophies and everything on the game. But there's still a DLC that's going to come out. There's still a bunch of stuff that's going to, that they just started events and things of that nature too today, actually. And I was working on that if anybody was checking out the Twitch stream from earlier. But overall, this game, if you're a fan of manga, a fan of anime, if you're a fan of Bandai anime adaptation games, because they seem to be one of the only companies that seems to do this. Maybe it's because they have to deal with Funimation. I probably have to do more research into that. You're gonna love this game, right? It's not the same as every single other anime adaptation game. Um, of course, you're gonna play through the storyline. That's kind of like the thing that's gonna naturally happen, right? Because there's a story, you're going to play through the storyline. But what's cool about this is you're not just playing through the perspective of just the heroes, right? The heroes and the villains are actually kind of weighted similar, right? They're two sides of the same coin, in a society with people that have quirks that give them special abilities. Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean that you're going to be weaker or any less strong as someone that happens to be a hero, right? Everybody has a motive, everybody has a special ability, and depending on how your mind works and how you utilize your quirk, you'll be able to, fend off against whoever you need to fend off against. So they bring that to fruition in the game. Each character's quirk is specific to them, and it helps, and it gives a specific play style for that exact character, right? So when I initially started playing the game, I thought I could just run in, just like any normal fighting game. It doesn't matter, who I'm facing off against. I don't have to play differently. That's not the case with this at all. If you have someone that has a quirk that is weak to fire, like earlier I was playing a game, I was playing as Todoroki, who happens to be a character that uses fire and ice, against a character named Tokoyami, who uses a character called Dark Shadow, which is basically a shadow that comes out that attacks for him. He's like a bird character, if you guys aren't familiar with My Hero. But he is kind of susceptible to fire. He's weak against fire, which you learn if you watch the anime. So I was like, oh, I wonder how this will actually work against him. And I was able to kind of wreck him whenever I use my fire attacks because he was susceptible to those fire attacks. But now, um, taking that same character I was using, Todoroki, I put him up against this guy, Kirishima, whose quirk is he hardens. Basically, he has really good defense. My fire is almost useless in his attacks where he can cut with his sharpness, because he hardens and sharpens his entire body. He can cut through my ice. So it was kind of a harder match. So I like the detail that they brought into the game, where they spent time on each character, making each quirk and each weakness of that character a part of the game, right? They don't tell you up front that's what they're doing, but once you play the game, you get some hours in just trying different characters, you start to realize which characters work good against what other characters, what teams you should set up to kind of to face off against whatever missions you may be on, or whatever arcade mode, or whatever team you should set up that complements your main character the most as well. However your play style is going to be, whatever it may be. So I liked a lot how they did that with the game, just because it makes you feel like you're actually a part of what the anime or what the manga actually is. That's what happens in the manga. Teams set up, they find out what each other's abilities are, and they create little teams to try to optimize and maximize their abilities out in the field. Whether it be villains, whether it be heroes, that's how it goes. So bringing that to the game makes a unique fighting experience, especially when you take it online. You never know what kind of teams you're going to come up against. You might come up against somebody that has someone that's going to use close combat, but then their two support characters are going to be able to do long range things, stun you, paralyze you, whatever it may be, or come in and hit you with a big hit, or even hit you with some acid, whatever it may be. So I really love the uniqueness of the fighting style, being able to create these different teams, being able to team up heroes and villains. The artwork of the game is amazing as well. It's cell shaded, of course. It's an anime adaptation, so of course it's going to be, but it looks great. It looks like they're pulled right out of the pages. hair moves, all that different stuff. The attacks, each character has their own special skills and attacks as well. So they don't just have different quirks, but their fighting styles are going to be different as well. Their combinations are going to work differently as well. You can also fight in a simplified mode or in a manual mode that allows you to make your combos longer, but it makes it a little harder sometimes with the game. But I really enjoy the manual mode just because you can kind of move around a lot quicker. You can do longer chain combinations and get those pulled into your plus ultra, which is your ultimate moves as well, a lot easier, a lot smoother. So I definitely love the game. There's a lot of content in here. Like I said, there's the full story mode between the heroes, and then you once you beat the heroes, then you can go through and you can do the villains as well. And the cool thing about all of these as well, you can unlock a different gear that you can use to customize your characters as well. So when you go online, you can have your own customized character. So yeah, it looks like the character, but it's your own custom twist. And you're looking at 48 missions for the heroes and 48 missions for the villains. And then within each mission for the story mode, you're looking at 3 different things that you need to do to unlock special items as well. So you're not going to have it completely completed unless you get a gold All Might complete medal on each one of these little things. So there's plenty of stuff for you to do. There's tons of missions in this game as well. The missions are not easy. I literally have been stuck on the same mission for honestly probably like 5 days trying to beat this mission, and I just have to keep on going back, playing different missions to level up. Because with the mission mode, it's not like arcade mode where you regain health after every battle. It's like literally you might have to fight 7 people and you have 1 gauge of life. So it's not a cakewalk at all. There's tons of missions on here. You can level up. I'm not even sure what the max level is. I believe it might be like 300 or so. But I'm looking at right now, there's tons of missions here, probably at least 30 missions. And then also you have to go through with all of the characters. And there's tons of characters. There's over 40 characters in the roster. There's going to be 5 more DLC characters. There's been a leak of what they may be, but I'm not going to mention that because I don't mess with leaks like that. It's not official. We don't do non-official things here at Play Legit. So until
You
it's
damn
official,
right.
I'm not going to say it. But there are going to be 5 more DLC characters. Online mode, you're going to have your unranked and ranked matches, of course. The unranked matches, you might run into somebody that's a cakewalk. You might run into somebody that just for some reason wanted to do an unranked match that's going to wash you. That happened to me not even 45 minutes ago. So I completely got washed. I was like, all right, well, let me get off of this so I can go do the podcast. Arcade mode is going to be nice too. There's each character is going to have 3 different routes that they can go through. When it comes to the arcade mode, each route, there's an A route, B route, and a Y route. The Y route is going to be the hardest route. There's a training mode to get your training on, of course, and then that customized mode is going to be where you're going to go in, you're going to buy new accessories, you're going to be able to use those accessories that you unlock to customize your character, customize your online banner, and all of that stuff too. So overall, I really enjoy this game. It's one of my favorite fighters right now. If you have not played this game and you really like fighting games, especially team-based fighting games, not necessarily with you playing on a team, but having a team where you have 2 support characters come in and help you and being able to mix and match and go through all of the different characters to do that, you're definitely going to really love this game. It looks really good. The play style is nice and smooth. It's not glitchy online, which I've noticed too, which would be a huge pain in the behind if it was, but
I'm
it's
actually
not.
surprised you said that because I know the company that made that, and they're notorious for having just hot trash servers. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, so when you're in a battle, I have not had any issues with stuttering or anything like that at all. I don't have the fastest internet in the world either. I have decent internet, but I don't have like I don't have gigabit internet right now or anything like that. So, but I haven't had any issues. Now there has been a couple times where I was trying to find a match where I didn't find a match, but it could have been the time of day. But we've all been, actually it was like probably the third day of quarantine. So, I mean, I would have imagined people are on, but it could have just been the time of day. It was still kind of early within the release of the game as well. So, a lot of people may not have had the game at the time, too. But earlier today, I was playing. I had no issue finding any matches. We got right in, no glitching, had some good matches, had some bad matches. Overall, it's a really good game. It's a fun game. You can spend a lot of time on it. You can just go through some missions and spend a couple hours doing that. You can hop online, spend hours doing that. There's local play as well. I haven't done the local play yet, but eventually I will, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. But I imagine it's gonna be just as good, just as smooth. And it's one of those games where after you beat a match, you're like, dang, I got to get into the next one. I got to get into the next one. It's really addictive. I really like it. If you're a fan of the anime, you're going to really like the game. If you know nothing about the anime, the game might make you want to go watch the anime, even if you don't like anime. It's a really good story. So, yeah, overall, I'm going to give My Hero Academia One's Justice 2. I'm going to give it a 4. Now,
Nice.
I feel like I've been giving things 4s, but I feel like I've been encountering some really good stuff. And I almost wanted to give it a 3.5, and I thought about it, but I couldn't allow myself to say it because I've enjoyed the game this much. It's not a 5. There's some things that they could probably do better. I'd like to see them incorporate um, which we may see with the DLC, some more storyline. But the backside of the storyline with the villains actually does it a lot of justice because you actually get to see the opposite perspective of the missions that you had played earlier, as well as some different missions within that too. So I can't really complain when it comes to that. The missions are really, really difficult. So maybe they can make the first 10 missions a little easier, but I'm not trying to be the guy saying game should be easier. People like challenges, and you actually get a challenge playing the missions in this game. So I'm not going to knock anything against them for that. But at times I did rage and was like, dude, why is this so hard? Why the heck is this so hard? I'm not even playing on like hard mode. I'm playing on a normal setting, and I'm getting mollywopped right now by All For One. Um, so, and the online, like I said, was good. You'll encounter some people that are you'll notice the characters that people like to use. Um, Definitely you'll notice that when you go online. But then all you have to do is just go into training, you face off against that character, or even train as that character to learn those skill sets, and then you'll be able to defeat them. That's how I learned how to do it. So overall, I give it a 4. I think it's a great game. I recommend everybody go play it. My Hero Academia is my favorite anime right now. Dragon Ball Super is not on. So I mean, even if Dragon Ball Super was on right now, I'd probably say My Hero Academia is still my favorite anime at the time,
Oh, come on now. All right
which
now.
which is crazy. Which is crazy, but
Yeah, that is. I'm with you on that.
My Hero is really good though. So I give it to him. I understand why they won all those Crunchyroll awards. So overall, I give it a 4. Great game. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. If you ever see this game on discount, you don't have it already, buy the game. I say you should buy the game at full price right now, anyways. But if you ever see it at discount, no hesitation, pick this game up for your library. No
Did you
hesitation.
say discount?
If you see it with the discount, no hesitation, pick the game up.
Right.
But I,
But
but I,
you said discount.
yeah, it'll go on discount eventually. It might be like a year from now, but it'll happen. All these Bandai titles always end up for like $15 for like a week. Every time. I'm telling you,
Always.
they do. Like clockwork. Like clockwork. But yeah, I give it a 4. It's a great game. I have the hat on right now. You guys can't see it, but I got the hat on right now. This is Plus Ultra, All Might, picked that up from C2E2. So yeah, I'm all about that My Hero life, and it's a great game. And word of advice, learn to play with someone that's not Deku. because everybody plays with Deku all the time, and they're going to know exactly what he can do and whoop you. So find someone else to be your main. But Deku's a great character as well. But find someone else to be your main. Whew. All right. Um. So that's my review of My Hero Academia. One's Justice 2. Great game. Let's switch gears here before we get into some deals with KJ. Let's talk about something crazy that happened. A game that people have been anticipating for a very, very long time. People were starting to freak out because they were like, "Oh no, people aren't getting things shipped to them. I'm getting notifications saying that my package isn't going to arrive on time." Well, Square Enix, they said, "Hey, we're going to do whatever we can do to make sure that you get the Final Fantasy VII remake at your house by the 10th," right? So with that said, some people have already received the game and they have been playing it. Now, I was on Twitch before we started the podcast, and I didn't see anybody streaming it on Twitch. Now, it might be because Australia, it's super late, but I don't see why people still want to be streaming, even if it was like 3 o'clock in the morning there. Maybe they put up blockers so people can't see it or whatever it may
They're
be.
probably shutting it down, buddy.
Yeah, I imagine that's what they're doing.
Square.
But yeah, the Final Fantasy VII remake is out. People have been playing it since this morning, I guess. But it's out in Australia, so like select people have been receiving the game, and of course they're going to stream the game. They got the game freaking 9 days early. Well, who wouldn't do that? You're trying to get that Twitch clout, right? So I mean, what better way to do it than have the game that's supposed to come out 9 days later on your Twitch channel? So that's super crazy. How do you feel about? I mean, do you think they did the right thing by releasing the game out early to certain people in certain markets? Do you think maybe they should have just released the game early for everyone? Like, how do you think this has gone? And do you think this is fair? I mean, part of me is kind of salty because I kind of wish, like, I pre-ordered the game and now I kind of wish I could just download the game and play it. I mean, they got it in Australia.
Well, I think that some of that stuff was just kind of out of their hands. I think that there was probably an initiative where they're like, we just need to make sure that people get it.
Mm.
And I think that there was just something happened over there. I don't know if that was their intent to get it to people early, but I think like they had some type of initiative, like we're doing everything that we can. I think you touched on that earlier, that they're doing everything that they can. And I think with that effort, I think it kind of uh, possibly accidentally push things forward, because I've definitely seen people get games early and post on, if it's like Call of Duty or something, and it's not like a GameStop employee that they got it early and opened it up. No, I've seen people have been sent from Amazon games early. I've seen that before
Mm.
throughout the years. So it's just, I think that maybe it was just another one of those cases, and then Australia just happened to be the folks who are getting blessed right now with the game early. But I don't think that Square like sat there around the table like, all right, we're gonna distribute the games to Australia right now and force everybody else to to suffer. I don't know. Just given everything going on in the world right now, I don't think their head was in that spot.
Yeah, it's they they I mean, I can only imagine what it's like trying to release a game right now, especially like in the middle of this, especially this game too, just because people have been so hyped for this game for years. I mean, since the announcement at E3 in 2015, everybody's been like, "Oh man, I can't wait for the game. I can't wait for the game." It's been like 5 years. So now like I can barely wait the 9 more days. But I can only imagine how they felt like, oh man, we can't push the game back until whenever everything's good. Like,
Let's just get it out there. And I'd like to add something else too. If you've noticed on Amazon, different places, movies that normally you'd have to wait a bit longer to hit video are now like, you can go. We were just looking at it. You can get Sonic the Hedgehog right now out of the Amazon store if you wanted to. And I think Onward is made available for people to buy. So
you
it's
know,
just things like that. Like, given the times, I think that they're just kind of like, all right, if it gets to them early, okay, cool. We just want to make sure that it gets to them because we know that they can't do anything but play this stuff. I mean, and you can't go anywhere. So
Right. So help us help you, and vice versa. Yeah, and they're even like, I've even noticed like there's talks of Mulan and the Black Widow movie coming out on Disney Plus, just because they don't know how long all of this is going to be. They don't want to kind of mess up all of their other releases that they have scheduled and planned as well by not releasing that. So maybe we'll get that on digital as well. You could get the Harley Quinn and the Black Canary movie already that just came out like a
oh
couple
yeah,
days
that's
ago.
another one. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of stuff is just going straight video on demand right now. And I know gaming's a little different than movies, just because, I mean, you don't go to theaters to play video games, so there's not like a second market that it has to go through. So it's like a lot of things are changing a lot, but there's still, there's still that whole thing of like, they also know that people are just sitting at home with nothing to do because they can't leave. And like, you know what way to help, if you're, especially like, if you're not donating money or doing things, making ventilators or whatever it may be. I mean, the best thing you could do is kind of, give something for people to keep their mind off of everything. So I mean, it's cool that it's cool that they didn't want people to wait longer than the release date. Like, I understand, like, they already pushed the game back once this year. They can't push it back again. I mean, they could, but I mean, they wouldn't want to, I would imagine. So it's cool that they kept the release date. It's cool that, some people are getting it a little bit early, but I'm just glad to know that we'll have the game on the 10th and I won't have to wait until August or whatever to play this dang game. So you want to move into some deals for us, KJ?
So you was talking about, and that's why I kept saying it because I'm itching. I see you talking about discounts. That's what we're talking about, right? I saw that I'm highlighting this week the PlayStation Store, okay, because they're doing a spring sale. So I thought that this needed a lot more attention because usually when Sony does a spring sale, it's just, I mean, they got some deals, man.
Mm.
So I'm just gonna list a few things here, just things of note. One thing I'll note too is that the Walmart up the street from me, they were going out of business, and everything in the store was 90% off when I went in there.
The
I got
Walmart was?
Yeah, the Walmart up the street from me went out of business, and
What?
everything they got marked down so much that the last week of them being open is 90% off everything in the store. So I got Borderlands: The Handsome Collection for like $2.
Oh,
So I
wow.
thought that was that was pretty cool, and then a lot of just office supplies and random things. But I spent $76 it would have been, and I ended up spending $13. But that was, it was valued at $76. So
Oh, wow.
yeah. So I just want to throw that in there because that that obviously that made my day. But
Mm.
anyway, here I go with the PlayStation Store list. A Way Out. It was originally $30. A Way Out, you can get that for $14.99, and that's a really fun game if you have a buddy that you can play with. It's good acting. I like where they take the story towards the end. I wish it was longer and a bit more challenging, but at a price like that, you can download that.
Mm.
I will say the only other game that was left at Walmart that they had plenty of, and for a good reason, this game was Anthem. So
Mm.
there was
Mm.
plenty of Anthems at the Walmart, and in the PlayStation Store, it's $17.99. And I think that is definitely still too high for garbage. So I'm going to keep on going down here.
Mm.
The Batman Arkham Collection, you can get it for $17.99. That is a fantastic deal. I think
The
those are some of the
collection?
best. Yeah, the Arkham Collection,
Oh,
man.
wow. Yeah, that is a good deal.
Yeah, so that's good stuff there. Black Ops 4 is $19.79. Let's see here. Days Gone. Were you a Days Gone guy?
Not really. I played it, but it looked like it was going to be really good. And then when I was playing it at a buddy's house, I didn't really get into it that much.
So we were not going to sit here and say it's trash, but we can say that it was a disappointment.
Yeah. I was definitely disappointed in the game. It was different than what I thought it was going to be.
Well, I know what's something that's not disappointing is Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and you can get the Fighter Z edition for $23.74 right now.
Ooh.
And yeah, and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is $40.19, which is pretty good because that game came out earlier this year, so it's still pretty fresh. So that's a solid discount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Dang, that's what's up. I might actually have to. It might be time to pick that up now.
A game that I wasn't really my cup of tea. I played a lot of it, and I think that I'd probably just played My Hero, the sequel that you were talking about over it. I'm talking about Jump Force. I did not like that game. I don't like the art style. Do not like the controls. It's $20.99, and I'm still saying pass on it, people.
Mm.
Sorry, Koerri.
It's all right. I agree with you.
Oh, cool. All right, we good. All right, so
Jump Force is no. Like I get it, but no, I'm good on that. I'll pass. It's gonna be a hard pass.
But hey, man, Mortal Kombat 11 Premium Edition, $35.99. That's talking about you getting the characters as well.
Yeah, you get
the Premium
DLC.
Edition.
Nice.
So there's a nice lineup of guest characters. You know, you got like random guest characters, but still cool. Terminator. I mean, Spawn. I mean, Spawn alone. Hello, that's what's up.
Right.
Naruto to Boruto, Shippuden, all those are on sale.
That's what I was saying earlier. Those games, they always end up on sale for the low. It's the is that Shinobi Strikers?
Yeah, so they have Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 Road to Boruto.
Okay.
God, that is a ridiculous title. With $12.49.
Ooh, that's not bad. I have that game.
That's not bad, dude.
It's good. It's a good game.
And then Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker, which I heard is just hot, unbelievable garbage online with the servers. Hopefully they've fixed a lot of that, but it's only $9 right now. So even if they haven't, I'm saying that's still pretty good, you know?
Yeah, dang, it's not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to grab that. I haven't picked up Shinobi Strikers, and I need to get that. It's only $9. I'll pick it up. I don't need to play it online. I'll just play the story, whatever.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, $35.99. I say that's good. You can definitely get that. Super Bomberman R. Bomberman is always fun with a bunch of people, and it's normally $40, which I think is a bit much for Bomberman. But at $10 for Super Bomberman R, I know that the Switch version had 8 players online, so I could imagine the PlayStation 4 version would certainly have that. If I'm wrong, y'all come after me, but I feel like that it does. So, yeah, Super Bomberman R, only $10.
That's not bad. Bomberman's, that's one of those classics too. That takes me back. Bomberman, trapping people, dude.
It's so much fun with friends.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to close out with one more solid deal here. Let's see what we got. A lot of these are stuff you see on sale a whole lot. Okay, so I will say this. Tetris Effect is a highly acclaimed VR game. And Tetris is always awesome, and it's only $20. So, yeah, I say Tetris Effect would be another good one to grab there. And the rest of these just download at your discretion. WWE 2K20, I wouldn't touch that with a 20-foot pole.
What's that running?
It's running for $20.
Oh, 20. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about $20 for that. I don't know. I have a buddy that's always on it. Like literally every time I go online, it's like, oh, he's playing WWE 20 or 2K20. I'm like, oh, I wonder if it's any good. And then I like watch videos of it online. I was like, why does this still look trash?
But, there's videos of just all the glitches that came out with that launch, and it's just so much.
Yeah, I would imagine it. I mean, it is 2K, so I don't know. Oh, briefly too. Thanks for the deals. Briefly, I don't want to get too much into this, but I guess this this kind of goes with our last topic, so maybe I'll bring that up then. Yeah, I'll bring that up then. So let's move into something brief, and then we'll get into the last topic. So, as we all know, E3 has been canceled officially. Frowny face, cry face. And typically at E3, there's a few companies that we always like to hear from. We like to see what they're doing. One of the main companies that we like to see what they're up to, especially with a huge title that they've been working on for a while that we saw a glimpse of in 2018, Bethesda will not be holding a digital replacement for its E3 show. So they haven't said exactly what they're going to be doing at all yet. So there's a tweet from Pete Hines from Bethesda saying, given the many challenges we're facing due to the pandemic, we will not host a digital showcase in June. We have lots of exciting things to share about our games and look forward to telling you more in the coming months. Okay, and that was at 7:12 this morning, April 1st, 2020. And as far as I've checked, it's not an April Fool's joke. So Bethesda will not have a digital replacement for its E3 show. And I find it kind of odd because B3, as they like to call it, they usually have like a musical performance. Yeah, they have people come out and kind of like present what's going on. But there's always like a lot of video content and digital content that kind of is wrapped into the whole presentation, like the intro and all of that. So they could have just made a long presentation without having to have people come out and announce stuff and all of that. So I wonder how they're gonna actually.
Well, they might just do what you just said. Maybe they'll just do that
and just not do it in June. Just randomly just show us some stuff. Like, I want to know what's up with Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, I think that I could see them doing something like that. Maybe like obviously not in a building with a bunch of people, but maybe they could have a guy, hopefully not as boring as some of the other stuff we've seen this year, but some type of presentation. Like you can expect that Nintendo's going to have something around the E3. How they haven't been at E3 officially doing a conference in like 3 or 4 years now, but they always have some type of video. So that's what I'm expecting from all these guys, is to have some type of video representation, even though E3 is down. But they want to still do something, I believe, for the people, because again, like, we're not going anywhere, and I think that they just like want to do us a solid. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what's happening.
Right. Yeah, and this is coming a day after they canceled QuakeCon. So it seems like, they're just like, they're not trying to be in groups, which I understand. Other companies there, like Microsoft is exploring something, Ubisoft as well. They're trying to figure out how they're going to have their digital replacements for their keynote. But it kind of seems like they might even just like spread everything out. They got to show off other than Elder Scrolls 6. There's Arcane's Deathloop, Tango Gameworks, Ghostwire Tokyo. We've been trying to see more of that, and Starfield as well. We're trying to see more of. So, maybe they'll just drop videos periodically or something like that, and just give us updates that way.
They could do that, because I'll say, like, some of the Bethesda conferences, I felt like they were milking. They had a handful of games, but they were milking it, just showing you long gameplay videos. And that's cool for some, but for me, I'm used to. I guess you could say I've been spoiled with the way that Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo do it. How they just show you so many games, and then you go from that to like a handful, and it's like, okay, well, this is still cool, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that point of view, because it is, they don't really show as, it's like kind of one major dev studio against, like, there's basically consoles. Like, Microsoft will come in and they'll show cross-plat games, they'll show their 1 or 2 exclusives that they have, they'll show 2K. Like, they'll show just a bunch of stuff and be like, look at
Bunch
all
of
the
shit.
stuff. Look at all the stuff that you can do on the Xbox. Mostly none of it's exclusive, but you can do it on the Xbox. And then PlayStation, they would, I mean, Sony wasn't going to be there anyways. So, I mean, I guess whatever with them but I don't know. It's just going to be weird. It's just, maybe it's more of like, for me, like the event of it, like E3 is like, oh, like it's like Comic-Con in a way, it's like, oh, it's Comic-Con week. There's all of this content coming out, right?
Yeah.
There's these shows to actually like sit down and watch. People get on Twitch, and stream the entire event and talk about the event with people and all of that. So it's like the community aspect of it is kind of the thing. It feels like there's going to be more of a disconnect since there's not going to be E3, and then they're not going to do like a presentation. Like even with like the Nintendo Directs, you still get people that stream the Directs and things like that. So, but if it's just like, if they just drop videos, then is it going to have the same, like, I don't know. It's weird. We'll have to play it by ear. This is the first time in any of our lifetimes we've dealt with the pandemic, I guess. So it's like we're all kind of just trying to adjust, and maybe we shouldn't act spoiled or whatever. But for me, it's still like, man, I wish there was an event. Man, geez, I wanted to go
We
on
got down
Twitch
to the root of it. That's what this is. You just want to, yay!
It is what it is. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I kind of just want to see more about Elder Scrolls 6 and see when that's going to come out. I know that's about to be, PS5, Xbox Series X kind of platform, PC kind of thing going on with that. I just want to see some. It's been a while since we got more of a glimpse of what's going on with that. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, they're cooking up.
Skyrim is huge. I can only imagine. I mean, they have Elder Scrolls Online. They have like these giant maps built, so I can only imagine how freaking epic this is gonna be. But yeah, we'll see. We'll play by ear. I mean, June is still quite a ways away anyway, so I mean, we're still looking at like we're 2 months out from when it was supposed to be. So maybe we'll see something early. Maybe we'll see something a little later. Who knows? We'll play by ear. All I know is whenever they announce whatever they're going to do, we're going to check it out and let you guys know about it either way. So stay tuned for that. So let's go ahead. Let's roll into the last topic for the night. And this is actually, when you sent this over to me, I was actually like, yeah, this is actually a really good topic, a really good question. I like sports. I'm not like a super, super huge sports guy, but I really enjoy basketball. I enjoy a little bit of foosball from time to time. Hockey as well. I live in Wisconsin, so hockey's pretty
A
big here.
little bit of badminton.
Hey, I'm the freaking badminton champ. Me and my buddy Randy Shuttler were the badminton champs in my high school, so we went undefeated. So I mean, I got love for badminton. Should have played in college or something. Went to the Olympics.
That would have been so dope. You could have been on the cover of the badminton game, dude, with your dreadlocks and everything. Well, they're gone now, but then you could get them back for the cover. You'd be,
yeah, man. I got them in a lockbox right here. I could just put them in for a little bit of time. My hair is actually long enough to put them back in if I wanted to, but part of me is kind of like, that's weird to do, so I'm not gonna do it. But if I needed
Koerri
to,
Elijah, badminton 2020. Koerri Elijah, there he is, y'all.
Strong backhand, just knocking birdies all over the place, man. But so you brought up the question, because this is the thing, being a cover athlete is a thing. Who's on the cover of 2K20, who's on the cover of NHL 20, who's on the cover of freaking NBA Live. Actually, no one cares about NBA Live, but who's on the cover of Madden? Who's on the covers of these games? It's always someone, not necessarily the MVP. It might be someone that's buzzing. So you pose the question, what's your idea for a cover athlete? Like, how should they make it to the cover? What's the process in our mind that would make someone a cover athlete? So, I mean, I kind of have an idea. I kind of want to hear what you think first, though.
Well, I think it's when they're putting together a cover athlete, I think that they factor in a lot of things. That they factor in obviously that the player is somewhat decent. I think that would definitely have to come into play. But then also, like, what do they factor into what they've done in the community? What kind of buzz do they carry? Do they have brand name clothes attached to them? I mean, they want to try to sell the game, so they want to bring in the revenue from any way that they can. And if they know that a particular athlete representing their league is known in a wide variety of avenues of business, I think that is a lot easier when you're trying to sell a video game. If little Timmy's in the store and they saw that, for example, Tiger Woods was in a Wheaties commercial, he's like, oh, well, I'm going to get this golf game versus the other golf game because I saw Tiger Woods in a Wheaties commercial. I know he's really cool. I don't know who this other guy is, but I know who Tiger Woods is because he was there. So that I think that's probably has a whole lot to do with it.
Recognition, visibility, popularity, clout. If you're actually good or not. I'm looking right now at just some Madden covers. And like a lot of, some of these people didn't even win Super Bowls. Some of them they did.
Yeah, they had Peyton Hillis, I think from Madden 11.
Madden 12.
He was Madden 12. Okay, yeah, he did not. He definitely disappointed. I'm from Ohio, so pretty big Browns fan, and that was not good. That was a disappointment.
There's also the Madden curse that they say too, though. So
yeah, they say that.
We can kind of give him a little bit of a. So it says the creativity of Madden 11, which is still coming up. Carry on for Madden 12. Sadly, though, they missed the mark with the cover athlete, with Browns running back Peyton Hillis winning the fan vote. He started just 34 games in his career, rushing for 2,832 yards, not quite the numbers of some of the other greats who have graced the Madden cover. So
that's the thing.
Yeah, he started 34 games. So, I mean, I guess it looks like they bring a fan vote into consideration too, which, I mean, I was not aware of that, but that kind of makes sense. Just to kind of get like a feel. Madden 02 had Dante Culpepper. He definitely never won anything for the Vikings because the Vikings are trash. I'm a Packers fan. I'm from Wisconsin, so I get pretty heated about hearing about the Vikings or the Lions or the Bears, especially.
And I also wanted to bring up a point too with the Dreamcast when the NBA 2K was first getting started, and I was telling people that NBA 2K was just so much better than Live, but it was still at that point where a lot of people didn't have. I guess this was always a thing where a lot of people didn't have Dreamcasts, and so people would be like, "Oh no, you're crazy, Chris. NBA Live is where it's at." Where's NBA Live right now?
In the trash.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's another rant for another day. But what I'm getting at is Allen Iverson was on the cover of NBA 2K for multiple years, and I think that it probably had a lot to do with what we were saying. He was just such a household name and so popular and so good during that point in his career that it really wasn't a point in changing him.
Yeah, he was there for 4 years, for 2K to 2K4. So 2000 to 2004, it was Allen Iverson. And I mean, yeah, he's not the GOAT, but he's a GOAT. He's one of the greatest of all time, most definitely. Yeah. And then, and he's one of the only ones to, he's like the only one other than Shaq, who was on 2006 and 2007 to have multiple years. So, I mean, KD was on it twice, but in 2013, KD was like an alternative. So it was Blake Griffin, KD, and Derrick Rose for 2013.
Yeah, sometimes you'll put like 2 or 3 people on the cover.
Yeah.
Like WWE 2K20, we were just trashing it, but it has Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch on the cover. So,
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, I agree with you. There should be a level of, for one, you have to be good, in my opinion. So that Peyton Hillis fluke, I don't know how that happened. maybe, I mean, he showed promise, and everybody was like, "Oh, this guy's going to be good." You know, we got a running back. Also, I mean, not to be that guy, but you know, sometimes when there's like a white athlete that does really good and shows some promise, everybody's like, "Oh, snap! Let's get behind him."
Let's get him on everything.
And then it usually doesn't pan out for some reason. I don't. I'm
They gonna
sorry.
get you today, man. They go, Koerri, we're gonna get you, brother, on that Twitter. We're gonna.
I'm sorry to keep it real, but it usually doesn't pan out for some reason, except for Larry
Well, hey,
Bird.
man, that's what we do on this website, man. No matter how it goes, that's what we're gonna do,
I
man.
was just keeping it real, man. No offense to anybody out there. I'm just, unfortunately, that's how it goes. I mean, I really like Pat Connaughton on the Bucks, so hopefully we keep him. I mean, he shows promise. He was in the dunk contest, so.
Yo, Luka Doncic is just off the charts on the Mavericks.
Oh
That
yeah,
dude is just insane.
yeah. Luka Doncic is, he's
Superstar.
yeah. So there you go. Put him on the cover, and it won't be a Peyton Hillis situation because we've already seen what Luka can do. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all for Luka because he's good. He's really good. He knows.
Yeah.
He's entertaining to watch as well. So, but I mean, I'm a Bucks fan, so I'm rocking with Giannis and the boys until we suck again. Which I mean, who knows how long it's going to be until that happens? But it might not be that long. Who knows? But yeah, so they have to be good, or at least relatively good. They have to be somewhat popular. Like I don't like random people I've never heard of, especially with like with a game like an NBA game or an NFL game. Like even with NFL a little bit more, you can kind of get away with like a lesser name person just because things change so much in the NFL. But in the NBA, there's such few people, so the superstars are like, who the top guys are in the NBA if you watch basketball.
Oh yeah.
Because there's not that many people. So it has to come from the pool of the elites, or at least people that are up in that top tier, that top tier class there.
That's a good point too. They can experiment with games like Madden because Madden, they're the only game in town. They have their install base. They know that people are going to buy it regardless. So so that year of doing a Peyton Hillis, like they knew, like regardless of who's on the cover, it's Madden.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
you don't got a choice. You about to get this Madden.
Yeah.
You about to buy new player cards and spend all your money again because you can't bring them over from the last season. Man, they killing it with this model, man.
I know MLB 19. They had Bryce Harper on the front of it, and he's really good. But I've been told that he's not quite as good as like someone like Mike Trout. But they picked Bryce Harper instead, and so that's kind of the reason why I came up with this question, because I was like, well, why isn't Mike Trout there instead of Bryce Harper? For when I'm talking about the 19 of MLB. And I guess it would just have to be the marketability, because if we know that Mike Trout's better, then why not?
Right. Yeah, I mean,
but yeah,
he's probably like the clout factor always comes in too. I imagine, who's the most popular guy? Like, yeah, he might be a better person, but people don't really like you, so we're going to go with the person that people like so we can sell this damn game. Like, we understand, like, you're really good, but you're also not that likable. So we're going to go with a likable person that is slightly worse than you are, which, I mean, it's a business. I understand it. Like you were saying about, like, the recognition, the name, the face recognition, like, would you buy a PGA game if it had Phil Mickelson? Like, you might know who Phil Mickelson is, maybe, if you dabble with golf. That's like the first name that came to my mind that I could think of in golf other than Tiger Woods. If you asked me what Phil Mickelson looked like, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'd say he looked like someone with the last name Mickelson. But if
he's got those teas I like at the convenience store. Oh, that's Arnold Palmer. My bad. Anyway.
Exactly. But, Tiger Woods is like, oh, snap. Yeah. Like, I see people rocking Tiger Woods hats and stuff. I'm like, dang, Tiger Woods is out here playing golf and got people wearing his clothes. That's crazy. All right. Okay. I didn't know golf was like that, but for sure. So yeah, I definitely get that. You have to be slightly good. You have to at least be, if not elite, you have to be a top tier, um, not like a starting player, not coming off the bench. You may not, you might be like if Kemba Walker ended up on the cover of NBA 2K, I'd be like, okay, for sure. Like he's
Yeah.
not the best player, but he's like one of the best players or the best player on the Celtics. He's a starter. Him because it's the Celtics, the franchise and all that stuff too. So it's like, okay, yeah, Kemba Walker, I could see that working out. But it's like having like a bench player on the cover of 2K or Madden or something. Like, who is this guy? Unless it was like Taco Fall, because for some reason everybody loves that guy. I do not see them like putting a bench player on the cover, and I don't think they should.
You remember Popeye Jones? They should put Popeye Jones. He's retired now, but
give him a all-star card or something,
yeah,
in the game. Bring him back. Highlight him for a week or something on 2K TV or something. But yeah, it's so yeah, I agree that it should be at least like a top tier starting level player, someone with some clout, some recognition, someone that's kind of good, and then also someone that's going to help sell the game too. It's like people that are, I would even say people that might even be good with social media, but sometimes you don't necessarily need that. But like how it is today, you definitely, if it was me, I would want someone that would like to be more involved with it too. So you don't end up with a situation like what happened, I think it was yesterday, where I don't know if you saw that, but Ronnie 2K called DeMarcus Cousins kind of, I think he called him a dick or something like that because he didn't know he was streaming, but he was streaming. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know about that.
Yeah. So you want to, and apparently like he was like, yeah, we're all supposed to be playing right now, but Cousins is such a dick or something. He probably won't even pick up or answer. It's like, dang, well, you probably don't want to work with people like that. So that's probably why he's never been a cover athlete. So probably someone a little bit more easygoing. That's why we've seen LeBron on it. Anthony Davis is on it this year. Last year it was Giannis. Paul George. Even Jordan has been on the cover of 2K. So, yeah, I mean, those, as long as you're not a scrub and as long as you somewhat deserve the cover, like Michael Jordan, he's the GOAT. Like the fact that he's even in some of the games, I'm like, dang, that's what's up. Because
if that year, so that 2K where they first they made him the star of the game. Mm-hmm. You put the game in and he's asking you, are you ready? They playing the Chicago Bulls theme song music. That was 2K11 because 2K10 the year prior, the online on that was just terrible, and it really let a lot of people down. So they knew they had to come out swinging, and boy did they! Because I said I'm not going to buy the next year after what they did, and then they dropped it. That completely, when they said Jordan was on the cover, and the game would be centered around Michael Jordan, I remember just hearing all the things people are saying and reading the comments, and so many people, just because he was on the cover of the game, were like, oh, I'm getting that, I'm getting that. So the cover star really does make a difference, guys. If you have a player that is legendary status like Michael Jordan, if you have a legend on the cover, I think that can really make a difference. Because if you look at comments, you have to do a lot of back research now, but if you looked at the comments from 2K10 and then compare it to when they released the news of what they were doing 2K11, it's like a night and day, man. I still remember it because I was the same way. They got me too. Because I was like, yo, I'm not going to get it. And then Michael Jordan, I'm like, oh, okay, well, that changes everything.
It's like, oh, well, I guess I'm gonna get it. Yeah, and that's how it goes in a way too. I bet there's people that have that game that never even played the game because Michael Jordan was on the cover. You just got people that collect stuff from some.
Hopefully, they get it autographed. Yeah,
it's like so yeah, that alone is gonna sell titles. And I'm I'm shocked because 2K10 had Kobe on it, and that was the last time Kobe was on the cover. That kind of sucks that he was. He
They
had.
they they did a Legend edition of 2K17, and he's on the cover of that.
Okay, all right, good, because we cannot have his legacy besmirched with 2K10.
No.
He needs to be on something else. But yeah, and even like going back to like 2K19 with the Greek Freak on the cover, and I think they had the Dwayne Wade Miami edition too, I believe, for 2K20.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, which is like another, like he just retired and all of that. So there's like all of this other stuff that comes into play when they're selecting these cover athletes. And I feel like that outside influences some of that too. Like knowing that D Wade was retiring, there's this whole movement behind it. There's people that are diehard Heat fans that'll just buy the game even if they don't like 2K just because the D Wade edition.
I imagine they'll do a Kobe tribute version for 2K21. I imagine.
Yeah, if they don't do it, I don't understand what they're doing.
Yeah,
they need to do that. You want to sell the game, Ronnie 2K? People are already mad. You already got NBA players saying that 2K is trash and won't stream it during the quarantine. You got to do something to get people back in. Same thing with like 2K19 though, with the Greek Freak on there. Like all these people from Greece are super diehard, fans of Giannis just because of what he represents for their country. And so they're gonna buy the game too. There's always that outside factor as well. The only thing I can't think of is 2K18 with Kyrie on the cover. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, Kyrie's good, but he's not like, I don't know. He's not like great. But also Paul George was on the cover of 2K17, so I guess I can't say much about Kyrie. They're like, that goes into that like top tier, but not necessarily elite. I mean, I guess you could call them elite, but like not the top three,
Right.
It's not like KD or LeBron or something like that. So yeah, but a lot goes into it. I'm sure there's more that goes into it as well. Of course, the fan vote goes into it too. Let's keep that into account. So a lot of the cover athletes are just super popular, but that's how it should be anyways. So I think that just kind of makes it a little even more even playing field. Even though some people kind of get hot, they get cold, they get hot, they get cold. But you got to keep it fresh. It comes out every year. You got to switch it up. You got to keep fresh with what's going on, who's popular, who's popping out here in these athlete streets. So I mean, it makes sense. Who would you want to pick a sport game and then pick who you would put on the cover for 2K21 or 2021, whatever edition, whatever game it might be?
I mean, this is a cop out, but I'm sorry, I have to put Kobe Bryant on it.
Okay, Kobe on 2K21. I will agree. I will agree with that, and I will go cover of Madden. Although I know it's probably going to be, wow, dude, what is this? I can't believe I forgot his name. He just won the freaking Super Bowl. Pat Mahomes. It's probably going to be him on the cover of Madden.
Again?
Yeah, actually, no. You know what? Yeah, he was already the cover.
They did already.
Yeah, so I want to see. I want to see Aaron Rodgers. I want to see Aaron Rodgers on the cover of Madden because Pat Mahomes. Yeah, Pat Mahomes was on it this year, and then he won the freaking Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers was never on the cover of Madden, not once. And he's one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. So, yeah, let's see some Aaron Rodgers on the cover of Madden, please. That would be my pick. I mean, they waited a long time. They waited till like 2009 to put Brett Favre on the cover. So I think it's been enough time to go ahead and get Aaron Rodgers on there. So, I mean, he's over 90 in the game. Go ahead and give him a cover. Maybe he doesn't want it, but who knows? I want to see him on there. But yeah, that was my pick. So Anything else to add on the cover athlete topic, man?
Nah, man.
All right. Well, there you guys have it. There was another episode of the Play Legit podcast. We have been talking about some pretty cool stuff, week by week. We appreciate everybody joining in. If you want to join in on the conversation, you want to add to some of the topics that we have, you want to help turn the conversation into a direction that you want to hear about, all you got to do is hit us up on Twitter or on Instagram or in the comment sections on our YouTube page. That's at Play Legit or the Play Legit Network on YouTube. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you guys want to hear, what you guys want to see, and we'll definitely get to that for you guys. Also, make sure you stop by playlegit.net because that's the hub. That's where you're going to find the podcast, audio and visual version. You can find it on YouTube, but of course, you want to stop by the site. You're going to find some reviews there as well, all different types of original content, game reviews, movie reviews, just opinion pieces, 8-bit trolls, all different types of stuff is on the site. So make sure you check out playlegit.net because that's the place, that's the hub. We love you guys so very, very much. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. We will be back next week with even more topics to talk about. KJ, you got anything before we get out of here, man?
Man, everybody continue to stay safe. Wash your hands. Play video games. Enjoy yourself.
That's right. Also, play video games. Make sure you wipe down your controllers too.
Oh yeah.
Get you some Clorox wipes if you don't have them already. Wipe down the controllers and wipe down them phones.
I'll give y'all an inside tip. Here's what you do. Go to Dollar Tree. They have these man's face wipes, but they're just as good as the sanitization. Buy a bunch of those face wipes and put that on the controller. That's going to save you some money, man. Go ahead. Thank me later.
Thank him later. You heard it first here, guys. Hit up that Dollar Tree. But thanks so much for tuning in. We will be back next week with some more legit and real talks for you guys. But until then, I've been Koerri Elijah. I've been here with my great friend KJ, and we
Dollar Tree.
Out. Peace out, homies.
Peace out. Yeah, I just plugged the Dollar Tree though.